In today's video, I'm going to show you how in Cricut Design Space to weld your letters together and why that's important. So let me move to my computer and I'll be right back. I'm in Cricut Design Space and I want to start a new project so that I can show you how to weld letters. You can either hit the plus symbol here where it says New Project, or you can hit the green New Project button up above. So I will do that. For purposes of this welding video, I'm going to use a text called Quiggly Wiggly. And I'm going to type the word gathering. Now, this isn't Quiggly Wiggly, but I wanted to show you. If I used the weld function with this, those letters still would not be touching and they would cut out individually. If I moved them closer together to make them weld, I don't think they would look very good. So let me move this up and I'll change that to Quiggly Wiggly. When I click that so that I can change the font, notice that a lot of them cost money. That's because I don't belong to Cricut Access. To see free fonts that are already on my system, you have to click on System. And this shows you only the fonts that I have on my computer so that you don't have to pay to make your project. So again, I'm going to use Quiggly Wiggly, a really cute font. I'll make it a lot bigger. I want to make it a little taller without having to make it wider. So I have to click this lock button. It's unlocked now, and I can make it taller. I like that, so I'll go ahead and lock the proportions back. Now, to move the letters together to make them touch, there's two ways to do that. You can change it here in this letter space, or you could ungroup these, and I'll show you what that means in a minute, and move each letter individually. But I like to start by keeping the whole thing selected and decreasing my line space. Once I see that there's at least two letters that are now touching each other in a way that I like how it looks, then I stop using this function. So these are touching each other. They would cut out as one. That's not quite touching. These four are touching, but they wouldn't cut out nicely. So I'm going to keep going. Okay, I now like how at least these two are together, so I'm going to ungroup. Again, the whole thing has to be selected, but I will ungroup. And I just want to move my G over. You know, actually, I want to move the I over a little bit more. I said I liked it, but I really don't. Move my R over. My E to my R. I don't like that quite yet. Let me move it just a little bit more. Okay, I want to make this G bigger. I like the first letters of my words to be rather large, so I'm going to do that. Now let me look and see if I move it up, if it looks good. See, I don't really like that. I'd rather it not be touching and just have to deal with having one letter that I have to take off separate from the rest. But let me move this just a little bit more. Up. See how it peeked through there? You don't want that to happen. See the opening in the G? You can see the tail of the N through that. So I need to move it so I can't see that any longer. Okay, that's pretty good. One more little bit. The devil's in the details, right? Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now, I want to show you what would happen if you tried to go ahead and send this to the cutter. See, they're together. They look really good. But look, well, let me go back. Let me change the color so you can actually see it better. Well, first of all, let's group the whole thing. All right, now, if I change the color of the whole thing, and this is just for purposes of showing you where the cut lines are. Ooh, that's a pretty yellow. But notice that is a cut line. That's a cut line. There's a cut line between every letter. And so you send it to the cutter, and look, they don't even stay in the same order. Cricut, it makes it where you are going to waste as little vinyl or whatever material you're using as possible. So it kind of reshuffles them so that it goes from big to small. So we sure don't want to do that. It looked good when it was in black, but you see when it's in yellow, it's not good. All right, so somebody might think, attach. Well, you still see the cut lines. The difference when you click Make It is they're at least in the same order. That still didn't do the trick. So let's highlight the whole thing and let's click Weld. This is the function you have to use if you want all those to cut out as one piece of material without them being cut separately. Now again, the G is separate, but I'm willing to live with that because I like that look. Now if you click Make It, voila, you see that they are all perfectly together and they're going to cut as one thing. That is what the weld function does. I hope you learned something from watching me today and that you liked the video. If you have any questions about what I did, leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see what I'll be doing in the future, hit the red subscribe button. This is Making with Marilyn. Bye-bye.